Hey everybody, welcome to Arch's Garage, and today out in the yard we've got something new, a new acquisition, something new for the family. Obviously it's big, it's large, and it's in charge, and it's some kind of tractor. And as my daughter used to say when she was real young, Daddy, look what my got. So look what my got, right? Let's check it out, let's see what's underneath. You ready? You guys ready? You ready? You guys in there? Hello? So, check it out, right? So I'm just going to give you a little rundown. We're going to take a look at it. I'm going to get a little closer to it today, a little bit intimate, we'll have some footage of when I just got it yesterday. So a little footage of that. Whoops. A little bit of puff. Wow, puffs a little bit. See it blowing smoke? Blows some smoke. Nice. Oh, I can smell the oil burning.
Come here, feel the wheel.
I can smell the oil burning.
Feel it. Turn it.
What's this? Nice. See the oil coming out of it? It's burning a little bit of oil.
Just a little.
Pop the hood. It sounds okay though. It just shakes a little. It's not bad. You're gonna need work. But it's all there. It's not making any bang bang noises.
It's healthy.
Yeah. The battery seems to start it. That's like a car battery.
That's a big one. Solar Magnum.
Yeah, it smells nice. Alright, I gotta drive it. I gotta drive it. A little footage of my daughter Christina driving it around. She really likes it. It is a lot of fun. I don't know how good that is.
I think the dog likes it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a lot more fun if you have more property.
That's fast as it goes.
Well, if you turn the RPMs up on the engine, it goes very fast.
It's not going very fast.
Yeah, because the RPMs are low. Bring it to a stop for a minute. Put it in neutral. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the RPM just a little bit. Give it a minute. Yeah, it's like a delay on it.
Oh, that's too fast. That's funny.
All right, try that.
Doggy move.
It'll have a little bit more power. Isn't that cool?
He's an idiot.
It is, it's cool.
This is fun. The dog doesn't know what to do.
No. He's like, where are you going?
Do you do a burnout in this thing?
Yes.
How do you shut it off?
The key. What is it? It's 20 horsepower, hydrostatic drive, Simplicity Sunstar, right? So it's the Sunstar model, so it's actually a little higher up on the, on the food chain. 5-lug rear, all right? I don't really know all the specs yet. This is definitely new to me. It's front PTO, electrically controlled right here by this switch. And, we're gonna peek into it today. It doesn't have a PTO in the rear. It came with one. You could have ordered it with it. It's not there. The electrical PTO clutch is not there, but the shaft is there. The spline shaft is there. So it's capable of basically doing anything you would want. I guess you could consider it to be a subcompact in the micro farming kind of, vein of doing things. 1989, right? Built by Simplicity. Simplicity originally came here under, I think it's Deutsche Alice or something, German company, and it was kind of more of a European design. So, and they kind of brought that to the tractor field in those days, and then became very much an American company, right? It didn't last very long when the Deutsche Alice. Simplicity bought it. And they also had a variant of this which they sold up north, very popular in the northeast, especially like in Canada under the Massey Ferguson line. Massey picked this up and actually just sort of rebranded it, made a few changes, and was able to distribute it up there in Canada in the Great North, right? So very popular there. Then later on, AgroCorp, I believe, had it for a bit. Now again, like I said, I don't really know a lot. I'm still learning a lot, and maybe we figure we could learn together on this thing. Be a lot of fun to kind of dig into it. It runs well, right? It runs okay. We need to kind of work on it and tune it up and do a few things to it. It's missing a few pieces. We're going to take a look at the plow that came with it, that I bought with it, and also I believe it's a single stage snowblower. The cutting deck.
Oh my god.
And behind it is the snowblower, which weighs an F-ton.
Holy sh! How are you gonna hook that up?
Well, you turn around the other way, and then I don't know how to hook it up yet, but you turn around the other way and you drive the tractor up to it, and you coax it in place.
Oh my god.
It's missing some linch pins and some other things. And this is electric, I think. I think it's electric.
Holy shit.
It's got a motor on it.
That thing is cool.
It's missing the lift arm, and it's also missing an arm that goes over here that goes to the plow, and that changes the plow angle. Now some of them had an additional servo that you could change the plow angle on the fly by moving an additional lever over on the left there. It doesn't have that, but we may be able to kind of fabricate some of that stuff as we go. Rear gas tank, it does have a high and a low range in the rear, and also you could diff lock, so really useful. These are not the original rims and tires, I believe. I think these are straight off a skid steer, Mikey said, so literally straight off a skid steer. So I don't know what happened to the original rims for the back, long gone. Tires are sort of a mismatched set, but they seem to be functioning, and they're pretty much holding air for the most part. It runs, like I said, it runs okay. We need to dig into it, so I think let's go dig into this thing. Let's get a little FaceTime with it. I'd like to do a little bit of pressure washing today, and one of the things I'd like to do today is, other than just pressure washing it, is the throttle cable is loose up in the throttle mechanism area. It's just loose. The sheath is not being gripped by the screw and the little grabber thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. And to get into that, we need to take the battery out anyway. So I figured, well, we'll do a little acid washing on the terminals of the battery. We'll clean them off a little bit, take the battery out, we'll put it on a high energy charge, check the water levels in it. That'll give me a chance to get in there a little bit closer, right? And we can start pressure washing it. So I'm going to have to kind of like move it back a little, and we'll just set up right over here. Essentially, once I take the battery out, I'm not going to be able to move the damn thing. So I'm going to have to leave it wherever it goes.
A few moments later.
Now I started doing some loving on it, and I can already see what's wrong with the throttle cable. I don't think you can see it, but it's back in there. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But it's back in there, and when I move the throttle, the cable sheath isn't being gripped, and it's just simply that screw that's in there. So I think we can get to that no problem. We'll take the battery out, which is fine. So once I get the battery out, I took the air cleaner cover off. Taking these screws off is a little hairy because you wouldn't want to drop it down in there. Not that it would go too far, but you just, yeah. So that's what's happening, is it's not pulling on the throttle. We'll put a little coil on everything, start trying to get everything loosened up. That's the choke. Degum some of it. And we have an adjustment too. I see one here, and there may be one on the bottom, I don't know, but we're going to take that carburetor off at some point and get it good and cleaned out. I don't see a fuel filter on here, so we have to trace out the fuel line, but imagine it would have one. And I don't know if this is electric or mechanical pump. And then there's all these connectors here that are not being used. We don't know what's going on with that. We're probably going to want to pull the side panels off too, so that way we can get in here and pressure wash out. So they look like they come off real easy. We can get all these contacts cleaned up. And it looks like this side panel comes right off. So I think we're going to start off with that.
12 seconds later.
Okay, the hour meter says 442. Now the gauges work, and they even are backlit. But somebody's been in here, right? So it's questionable. It looks like the gauge is connected, and I think it actually did move. So at 442 hours, that's definitely not a lot, right? Especially for a 10-year-old tractor. So this would be 1989. And it ran for about 10 years. There was some slight variations. This is a Kohler Magnum 20 horsepower. There was an 18 horsepower variant. This one has power steering. I believe some of the 18s did not have power steering. They simply took that out. And like I said, I'm gonna, I'll narrate some of what the tractor has as we go through it. It's a pretty big size battery. This is a 575 cold cranking amp battery, and it's been starting the tractor. So we're going to want to get in here and show it a little love and attention. There's a number of things that don't seem like they're connected. There's wires hanging about. So this one is a ground. This one has a red terminal on it. So this could be a positive. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is actually for a pigtail. I know what this is. We're going to keep this off for now. We're going to keep it with the tractor stuff. There is an electric motor that goes on the swivel for the chute on the snowblower, all right? That's actually kind of neat, right? So we're going to have to make a box up for this stuff and put this stuff away. Directly ground it to the battery, but I think what we should do is rewire it properly and put it into some kind of a junction panel. There's also another connector that's supposed to be here. So that's something else we want to consider. All right, so this is ground, so you take your ground off first, and that way you can literally leave it anywhere. But try not, try to leave it more towards something that isn't going to be a problem if you can. Because if for some reason or other you had a spark, like you wouldn't want to leave it on the aluminum oil cooler. This is a cooler for the transmission, and there's also a filter for it as well. Now this is another connector for something, right? Here's another connector here. We don't know what that's about. The lights work, like I said, the front lights work, and the gauge lights work, back lights. Now that's on there good, huh? I'll have to get a screwdriver, I guess. So, clean all this stuff up, maybe acid etch it a little bit, and we'll get it all re-lubed. Everything that we do, we're going to want to lube up. Okay, so let's see if we can just kind of knock the terminal. Yeah, it's moving. There we go. Wants to go. Alright, it's not too bad. Should be able to clean all that up. Let's extract the battery and take a peek inside. Just want to see. Want to be careful about knocking into anything with a big heavy battery. Alright, we'll get this thing cleaned up. So the battery tray looks like it's pretty decent. Check that out. Alright, it's all there. Let's get a screwdriver on that. And this is the kind of stuff that, put a little rusty metal primer. Yeah, look at that. It's just in good shape. It's just some dirt. And I don't even see any. We'll get a little scraper or something. I don't see any issue. Alright, we'll give that a good wash. And it's going to need to be cleaned several times, so I'm not going to get crazy with cleaning it today. Right? We're going to make our first pass over everything and move on, right? So this way I can start putting some penetrant oil in. And okay, so the cable that we need to get to is down here. That's weird. What is that? Oh, this must be the battery strap. Some kind of battery strap or something. So that's all I'm going to do for this part, guys. I'm going to come back in a little bit and we're going to see what it looks like when I clean it. Probably get a little bit of footage, but we're going to put a little bit of super clean in here and start setting it up and just letting it kind of work its way in. Let me go get that, and I want to see if I have a better cup for this to cover over the hole. But so far so good. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, let's get a little super clean in this. And like I said, I'm not going to get too carried away. You know, we're going to give the tractor a decent wash. Now, I figure what we'll do is we're going to blow the pressure washer in here, and just to get some of it off, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to remove the side panels. We'll lather this guy up. This is a lot to do in one pass, so you know, we don't want to really get too married to any of this, because it's going to take a while to get this tractor restored and cleaned. So something like this, you know, I have other things to do today. Excuse me. I figured it would be nice to start off the day with this, and a lot of the stuff I have to do the rest of the day isn't super critical. That's another project we got to get to, is my steam Jenny project, because I would really enjoy that. We're not going to get too crazy with the underneath of the tractor yet either, and I got to wipe the grease off the axles in the front. There's a lot of grease on there, it's pouring out. And while I'm doing all these other things, right, here's a little tip. Grab your hose and just spritz everything down. Not necessarily washing, I mean you could, but you don't want to remove the product. What you want to do is re-wet the product, and even tell you to keep the product wet. You know, not really enough to remove the product, but enough to kind of reactivate what's there, right? Some of it will rinse off, but a lot of it will stay, and while you're doing other things. So now I'm going to hook up the hose, and I'm going to run the turbo nozzle, but I'm not going to use a lot of high pressure, right? I'm actually going to crank the pressure down. There's some stickers and things on there I want to be careful of. We want them for now, and this way we can get better pictures as time goes on. If I were to turn it up, I would be able to remove the paint, and we don't want to do that today. Just a little deeper look inside. We'll look before we start pressure washing. I've been misting it. I'm getting all misty. Lighting's going to be a little weird because the dark, you know, the shadows and the bright spots. I'm trying to stay out of the sun because it's hot today. Well, plumbing looks all good. I don't see any leaks, so. I'm gonna wipe all that grease off. Now let's get started.
20 minutes later.
Not bad for a first pass. These are coming along quite nice. So I'm gonna lower the pressure. We're gonna take the side panels off now, like I was saying. You can't see down there yet, but let's do the next step. So side panels are just a few bolts, right? Here, here, there, a couple other spots. These covers, a couple of bolts broke. They were already broken on one side, and I broke one, so that's not going to be an issue because it's in an easy location. So one more rinse, and then we're going to jack up the back and just try to get back there a little bit more, and that's it. I've been at it for about 3 hours. I figured give myself another 2 hours to sort of finish up, and we want to get the plugs cleaned and gapped and back in again. We want to fix that throttle cable, lube up a few things, and the battery's been on charge all this time. It's really boiling away. It's doing good, so we'll be able to close that up. My only concern is the battery tray, right? We might want to put a little oil or something down on that for now, just to keep it from rotting. I'm not ready to paint it or anything, so we might want to do that. And I think that's about it, really. Let's just get all this sort of buttoned up today. We have a few parts coming soon. I'm going to need to figure out what belts, and there's a few other things going on, so let's do a little bit of washing. Check this out. All right, got the covers off. So this side, which is the driver's side, we'll call it the left, Running a little bit leaner, starting to clean up. But the other side, the right side, not so much. But, you know, it's to be expected. We're going to clean those a little bit later. I'm going to put them, just thread them back in. And let's just take a look at some of the dirt in there. Right? Not too bad. Alright, we're going to blow all this out. I'm going to start off with spraying some cleaner mixed in a little bit of water in my pump sprayer. Pretty cranky. All right, let's take a look at the other side. A couple of broken bolts, another broken bolt here, and the same thing on the other side, but it's nice and easy to fix. Everything looks pretty good. It's just years of gook. And again, I don't know what this is. It could have been a regulator of some kind, or a relay box. We don't know. Anybody out there that might know, let me know. Like I was saying, it's in my pump sprayer, and then I stick it in the microwave for a minute or 2 minutes. It's warm out today, it's hot today. So, but 2 minutes on a cooler day, and you've got warm juice. We're gonna spray that on. We got some foamy here. I don't know if you can see that. It's the contrast. It's the super clean foamy. You're not going to be able to see a lot because the contrasts. All right, we're going to put the foamy on. I'll show you the product later in a can. You've seen it on my other videos. That's nice. I'm trying to keep the light on and the ISO's down, but the f-stop is low. That's a little bit more natural. Oh, it's foaming. Alright, let's climb underneath and get it in like these areas. And I squirted the other stuff in. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to lean up underneath there if I can. So we got a lot in already. I think that's probably enough. This is nice because it really gets to everything. I'm going to lean up underneath there and get it. It's a little stronger. The belt's a shot, I can tell you that. I can see cracking. It's a double belt system. I gotta figure out what these belts are. Alright, let me go. I don't want to get this on the camera. I'm gonna climb underneath. So the idea with this, guys, is just a piece of Scotch-Brite. And I already put a little bit on. This is that metal etch. Fast etch. And it's our the body acid that we use for prepping before paint, for primer in particular. So I just put some on. I'll put this down, and I'm just gonna make a few passes just to lift up some of the rust. We're gonna stabilize it, and then later on when I'm done, we'll put some bar and chain lube on it. So I'm not ready to paint, but we do want to get rid of some of the rust. You can see it's already removing it. So I'm gonna go work on that because I can't, you know, I need my both hands. We'll scrape off any sap or whatever. And this is while the rest of the stuff is sort of doing its thing. It's just about ready to be washed, so I'm gonna do this quick. Pretty clean. Now I'll be able to get in there and fix the throttle cable, and we'll get into that a little later. Let's peek under. Hopefully you can see some of it. Try to stay away from the drippies. Yeah, let me bring the f-stop down even more. That's as far as I can go. I don't want to bring the ISO up. You know, when we get it in the shop, you know, we'll be able to see more. I gotta do the tranny filter. Gonna do all the fluid, all the fluids. It's like 6 quarts, but that's what it holds. But it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go around top. The other side. Much cleaner. I can get to it now. I can get to all the, you know, up in here, here's where the throttle is. We just have to tighten this bracket right here where my finger is. That's not bad, all right? Let's jack it up now in the back. It's just a little bit of goop in a few spots. Yeah, it is a Peerless. A division of Tecumseh. So it is a Peerless tranny. I know, it's going to white out. You know, I got to work the f-stops to try to get you to see, because there's so many shadows. Alright, let's get it clean. I'm just going to see if I can pop the cap and see what happens. I mean, that's what it looks like. Not overexposed. Not bad, just a quick wash, but we'll poke at the cap. Alright, last quick look before I start closing it up. I decided to put some primer on that. It's been about an hour. Everything is drying so fast today. It's windy, it's just breezy, it's beautiful out. I don't know how much you can see in there, but like I said, we'll get better looks at it when I can control the light better. It's a good start. You know, it's an excellent start. Put a little Lumibrite on those aluminum fins. You know, we're gonna have to clear coat them though at some point because they'll oxidize. Let's get the stuff dried up. He's cleaned up nice. Just a good wash, get all the schlem off. These things are big. You don't realize how big they are until you actually work with them. See, it says skid steer. 23 by 8 by 5. 23 by 8, oh excuse me, 23 by 8.5. 12 NHS, so it's probably like a 12-inch rim. So, but that's what I have, and that's what we're going to work with. All right, let me check the air pressure on these things, and we'll put them on. And put a little, put the bolts in, and we're going to use some anti-seize. We'll get everything back together again. See how easy it would be to paint this, right? Super clean now. Super clean. Get it? Okay, I got 30 pounds. One of these, I think it was this side. Geez, I don't remember now. Well, one of them had, it was really low, like a couple of pounds. So, and I noticed the valve was leaking. So I filled everything up to 30 PSI. It says 35 max. So kind of just basically, you know, put these in and tight, you know, hand or by hand, get them started. Plenty of no-sees on it. So we'll see if they leak. That's tight enough. I do the other side, and I see here, right? This is disconnected, so that's where that goes. I don't know where what this does, or where that, you know, how this sets up. I think this is a controller for. Because I remember seeing on the snowblower, right? There's I think there's a head connector that goes to that. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go put the other tire on, and I'll grab the plugs. I'll clean those up next.
Later.
Nice. Now I can relax for a little bit. It's like the Yule log, except it's not.
Get the lights in the background.
No, just want the fire.